In spite of this, very few attack people or deer in these marshes. They like fish. That immense biomass that we never see, but maintains everything in its place in this Jurassic constellation. The murderous air about it is just that, an air. The Pantanal jacare is a good neighbor, and the only thing it does is fill with its existence the empty spots left by other living beings in this ecosystem full of opportunities. Can you imagine what the period of the dinosaurs must have been like? The Pantanal is one of the virgin areas on the planet, where animals such as the jacare amass the biological memory of remote times. Looking at these images, some self-criticism is called for. How small we are, and what a pain in the neck we can be. Even the cows in this flooded land know that this reptile with a mean face is not as dangerous as man's imagination has set it up to be. The first European travelers who ventured into this area also told stories about giant rats. And they were undoubtedly referring to the capybaras, who were not precisely rats, although they are rodents of an unsettling size, so unsettling that they are the largest in the world, weighing 50 kilograms and perfectly adapted to life on land as well as in the water. In Venezuela, they are known as chigüires, and in other South American countries as carpinchos. At any rate, and regional denominations aside, this is a powerful and unmistakable mammal. Its hooves have membranes between the toes, permitting it to swim perfectly, and its bite is disproportionate. The capybara is an unusual rodent that looks enormous to us, but not as enormous as was its ancestor, the Notorhydrochoerus. It was similar, but in the Pliocene it reached a length of almost 2 meters. That is, a rodent as big as a rhinoceros, to whom these plains surely seemed very small. The capybaras are very sociable, and just one male dominates family groups of up to 20 individuals. They make love at night, like everybody else does. Bathed in moonlight, these capybaras live their mating period in groups. The dominating male marks the love path through which the receptive females will pass. The sexual encounters are tender and fleeting, an exchange of energy that will culminate after 4 months of pregnancy in the birth of a litter of up to 8 pups. The fruit of a passionate and single night of marshy sex, with spectators included. Capybaras are herbivorous and feed from the same graze as the cows. They can defy any predator when in group formation, including the jaguar, and with luck can live a good 15 years. the average longevity recorded by the mastozoologists who study them. When they get old, they begin to separate themselves from the group, and if they feel that death is near, they will permanently move away from the group and face it alone. This is how we found this old female capybara, on the verge of becoming a part of the food chain. It died while taking its last bath, and now its funeral is the banquet for other inhabitants of the river. Jacarés and piranhas will put its corpse to good use. Nothing is wasted in the Pantanal, and this old capybara resuscitates by feeding other animals, as in a Tibetan ritual. All this energy cannot be destroyed in such a perfect ecosystem. It simply transforms itself by way of the digestive system of the carnivorous fauna. The bones are gone in half an hour. The smaller species of piranha take care of the ribs, and the larger ones, the extremities and the head. But all this has just begun, and the appetite of this school of black piranha has been activated. They don't always attack, only when it's worthwhile, and it looks like today it is. One capybara is fine, but it's not enough for these fish that have the appetite of a lion. Surely there's something more around there to eat. Man is at the height of the ecological pyramid, but not just any man. Today, fate is in the hands of Ivan and Palmiro. They ate the capybara, and now they will be eaten. That's how things are. Greed got the better of them. This morning's fishing is in itself a masterclass in natural history, the theory and practice of ecological balance. These piranha will taste today more than ever of capybara, but the broth will be delicious and will magnify Ivan and Palmiro's sexuality, so they tell us. Something we don't think is very recommendable in this hacienda, because there are only 2 women and they're both married. Anyway, they know what they're doing. The jacarés also take advantage of the situation. There's something for everybody in turbulent waters. Although it may not seem like it, the piranhas also win out. Their overpopulation needs losses, and between man and reptiles, this natural elimination is guaranteed. Its fierce bite is just as effective on land, so the hook has to be taken out of its mouth very carefully. No one should consider themselves absolute winners. Palmiro turns quiet and very serious. A hungry jacaré is no joking matter. Let's keep our distances, brother. The landscape and its inhabitants become one. Some die so that others can continue living. A rule that obeys natural cycles, cycles which our species should not take lightly. To obtain proteins, the inhabitants of the Great Pantanal must sometimes turn to incredible beings such as this one, a large piranha. A truly beautiful piranha, which I handle by its gills, not as harmless as it may seem because it was caught a few minutes ago and is still going strong. Strong enough for me to show you with my pantanera knife, but it still has some important teeth there, in the upper and lower jaw as well. It's an important Pantanal predator, and strong enough to bite this knife and prove that it is still alive and kicking. There are not only animal proteins here in the Pantanal, there are also, as we can see, dangerous fish.